Everyone. My name's Stephen Neal. I'm the Associate Director of Global Recruitment here at Uni. And yeah, it's very, very exciting to have you all with us for today's webinar. Hopefully a lot of you would have already heard of Hartpury University before, but if not, yeah, you're in for a great session today. Yeah, so whether you're tuning in from, the UK or the other side of the world, yeah, it's very, very good to have you here with us. So yeah, I'm very excited to introduce our distinguished speakers for today. We're very lucky to be joined by Charlotte Phillips, who is the International Admissions and Immigration Manager. We also have Lydia Robinson, who is the Head of International Recruitment as well, joining us. So yeah, just to go over the session today, we'll be, of course, introducing the Specialist University of the Year 2026, which is Hartpury. We'll be covering its key strengths, specialist focus areas, and what sets it apart in the UK higher education landscape. Yeah, this will then be followed by insights into the student experience, the hands-on learning approach, the strong graduate outcomes, and then we'll discuss the important stuff such as scholarships and the studentship opportunities as well. And then also from an agent's perspective, so how can you, position this amazing opportunity to your students when you're counseling them as well. So yeah, before we begin the session, just a few housekeeping rules. So I just want to share a few important reminders to ensure that we have a smooth and productive session for everyone. So please note that the session is being recorded, and a copy of the recording will be shared with you after the session. So if any of your team members couldn't join, yeah, it's a great way for them to learn about the amazing university that we're covering today. And then, yeah, we'll also be doing a Q&A segment at the end of the webinar. So during the webinar, yeah, feel free to submit your questions at any time in the QA box. So this will allow us to then go over them at the end. Also, keep them fresh in your mind. So our team will review them and then address as many questions at the end as possible. If we have, the amount of time needed. Hopefully you guys have a lot of questions that we don't have the right time, but if we don't, then yeah, we can get back to you after the session. And yeah, we encourage you to stay engaged and make the most of this opportunity. As I say, we have two amazing people from Hartpury here with us today, and yeah, I hope you have a lot of questions for them. So yeah, Lydia, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the lovely introduction, Stephen. And good morning to everybody from the UK, or good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you're located. So as Stephen said, my name is Lydia. I'm the Head of International Recruitment at Hartpury. So I'm going to give you a brief introduction really to the university if you haven't heard of us before. And then there will be plenty of time for questions afterwards. And myself and my lovely colleague Charlotte will be here to answer. So I'm just going to share my screen so I can show you some slides. Hopefully you can see those.
Okay. Yes.
Fab, thank you. So Hartpury is not your average university, so it's really good to have the opportunity to kind of give you a flavour of what life is like at Hartpury today. Hartpury is a really small and specialist community, and it's full of students who are doing what they love. We're a specialist university, and we focus on the areas of agriculture, animal, equine, vet nursing, sport, and more recently, we have also introduced programmes in business and psychology too. We're actually a college and a university, so we have a really wide range of programmes from A-level, BTEC, diploma, all the way through to foundation, bachelor's and master's degree as well. We've got about 4,700 students studying with us on campus in total. About 2,000 of those are college students and the rest are at university level. I think what makes Hartpury really special is our campus environment. And often I get out and about on campus, I talk to our current students and ask them to find out about their experiences of life at Hartpury. And what I hear time and time again is just how special the environment is at Hartpury. Because we're small, it's such a close-knit community. It makes it really easy for students to settle in. And because we focus on just a small number of subject areas, it makes it really easy for students to find their people, to find friends that share their passions. And so all of this just leads to this really wonderful community. But the campus that we are set on is absolutely beautiful. We've got 360 hectares and we are right out in the countryside. So it's a really rural experience once you're on campus. Whichever direction you look, you can just see the rolling hills, greenery, woodland, lakes. It's really, really beautiful. And it just makes for such a peaceful and calm atmosphere. We had an open day just on campus on Saturday, and I heard a lot of comments of just how wowed the visitors were by how beautiful the campus is. And we had a gorgeous sunny day as well. So it's a really beautiful environment. Obviously, students are going to have stressful points during their studies around the times that their deadlines are due. And it's just a really, really lovely nature-filled environment that helps students to feel calm and ultimately thrive as well. The environment, I think, is especially suitable to students that maybe not so confident. I speak to a lot of students before they arrive where they're a little bit nervous about starting their new adventure and meeting friends and, settling into somewhere new. But because we're such a small environment, it does make it really, really easy for students to settle. And as I say, find their people and just be in this beautiful environment. So the campus is absolutely stunning. I would love you to come and visit if you can. Next best thing is we have lots of fantastic virtual tours available on the website, a lot of videos on our YouTube channel, and a lot of great content on our social media channels as well, especially Instagram and TikTok. We're known for the high quality of our programs as well. It's not just a beautiful campus. So beyond that, we are triple gold rated in the Teaching Excellence Framework. We rate consistently highly for academic support. So again, the kind of feedback that I get from our current students is that because we're a small institution, they're able to develop really strong and close relationships with the academic staff. It's an environment where students won't be able to hide. If they're not in class, the academic member of staff will know. And it means if they're feeling a bit lost, if there's anything that they're struggling with, they can have those conversations, and the academics are always really happy to answer questions. They're talking about the subject that they love. So it's a high level of academic support, but also wellbeing support as well. And we're consistently achieving really high graduate employability outcomes as well. So in the most recent graduate outcomes survey, 95% of graduates were either in employment or in further study. Now, I think the reason that we're receiving such consistently high graduate employability ratings is the practical nature of our teaching. So at Hartpury, our students are getting very hands-on experience. We want them to be working on real life projects to help them to adapt when they go on to their future careers. It'll make them more employable, and it means that they can hit the ground running as well. And they're building up their CV, their resume, with all of these fantastic experience during their studies. So our programs are actually built together with employers. So employers are shaping the curriculum, and we make sure that our students are learning the skills at Hartpury that they're going to need as they go on into their careers as well. The nature of the programs at Hartpury, we do teach a little bit of theory, but then we're getting out and about on the campus, and we're running lots of practical activities so that students can really put that theory into practice and really start to understand. We also have 9 commercial businesses operating on our campus, so lots of opportunities for students to get experience on campus. We also offer a number of work placements and voluntary experiences as well. So our students can really thrive here. I mentioned that I attended our offer holder day on Saturday. And one of the sessions that we run was an alumni panel. So previous Hartpury students talking about their experiences. And one account that really struck me, it was one of our animal students. And she said when she started at Hartpury, like she was so shy, she barely even spoke. And the environment at Hartpury just really allowed her to thrive and come out of her shell. We helped her to build skills, and through all of the practical work, she really built her confidence. She built a strong network, really great relationships with the academic staff as well. And after studying her bachelor degree with us, she's gone on to study a master's, and she's currently working on her PhD as well. So it's not just academic, it's all of those interpersonal skills that she was able to build as well. So they can build their confidence in the environment that they're studying in, and they're learning by doing, but they're building lots and lots of connections throughout their studies as well. We have fantastic career and employment services on campus as well. All of our programs, students, all of our bachelor degree programs, students have the opportunity to add in a 1-year work placement. So they would study for 2 years, they would work for a year, and then come back and study for their final year. So that's some brilliant skills on their resume to help their employability in future as well. And the facilities that we have on campus is really designed for students to get that practical experience as well. So for our animal students, we have over 70 species of animal right on campus. So we have everything from snakes and spiders through to meerkats, prairie dogs, wallabies, llamas. So lots of opportunities for our animal students to get some really fantastic practical experience, and also for students studying other programs that just enjoy being around animals. Our equine centre has some world-class facilities. We've got indoor, outdoor arenas that regularly host international events. We have equipment like Maggie, which is our riding simulator, and there's only about 10 of those in the world, and we have one right on the Hartpury campus. For our agriculture students, we have our very own commercial farm right on campus. So students can assist with veterinary procedures, they can assist with the feeding. We have cows and we have sheep over the farm, and we also have our agri-tech centre as well. Hartpury is also known for sports. So we have 10 sports academies at Hartpury, and this is an opportunity for students to study a dual career programme. So they can get their master's degree, they can get their bachelor degree, but at the same time they're training, we're nurturing, we're developing their skills as an athlete at the same time. And the sports that we focus on are rugby, football, we have an equine academy, we also have netball, golf, rowing, and new for September we are also introducing a cricket academy. And we have teams at all levels. So we do have elite athletes studying with us at Hartpury. Many of our graduates have gone on to play professional. But we do have different levels of teams, so we can cater for all abilities. And we have student-run teams as well, where students can just play for fun. Sport is a big part of the campus environment, so even our students that don't play themselves will often enjoy going along to watch a game on a Wednesday afternoon or a weekend. So sport is a big part of the campus as well. And we're continually investing in our campus facilities, and you can see that in new buildings around the campus. We have a lovely on-campus restaurant called Gray's. And just recently, within the last couple of months, we've opened our university learning hub. It's a beautiful building, really modern, light, airy. It's a study space, a group working space, and we have our library in there as well. So lots of nice new modern buildings around campus, but we're also investing in the equipment and the facilities that our students use as well. And that's something that a lot of our alumni commented on in the session at the weekend, that when they toured a number of UK universities, what really struck them about Hartpury was the really specialist equipment that we had. I guess as a specialist university, all of our budget, all of our funding is ploughed into this small number of areas. So it means that we really can have such high level equipment. Things like our zero gravity treadmill over in sport as well. So it's a campus built for specialists. And all of this contributes to those really high graduate employability ratings. This is a photograph from our most recent graduation ceremony. Our students graduate in Gloucester Cathedral, which is a really spectacular and really magical venue for them to end their experience in. And you might know it from some of the Harry Potter films. So Hartpury is a really unique experience for students, much smaller than your average UK university, but that means that students benefit from a really close-knit community. It makes it easy for them to settle in and to make friends and to find friends that really share their passion. I think what struck me most when I first started at Hartpury is how passionate our community of students are. They know exactly what they want to do, and they are living and breathing the subject that they love. They get to benefit from a beautiful campus, but still we're only 15 minutes away from the city of Gloucester. So students can travel by shuttle bus if they do want to have a night out, or if they do need to pop to the shops. There is the city within easy reach, but the campus, you really do feel right in the middle of the countryside. And whilst they're on campus, students benefit from those amazing state-of-the-art facilities, programmes that have been designed in combination with employers. And so it's a really fantastic experience. Just to run through some more of the practical aspects. So our tuition fees, they range from £17,250 up to £18,500, just depending on the level and the programme of study. But we do also offer an all-inclusive package. So this is one fee that covers tuition fees, accommodation. It covers all of the things that they would need for their room, so bedding packs, cutlery, crockery, gym membership. And it also includes 6 airport transfers throughout the year as well. So if they want to come back home and visit their families, we can drop them off and pick them back up from any one of our local airports. So a lot of parents like this package because it helps them with budgeting. The package also includes food as well. So 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. So it's good for the parents to know that the students, that their sons or daughters are getting really well fed as well. As I say, it helps with the budgeting. So that's an option for our students to take should they wish, or they can choose to pay for everything separately. And of course, we do have some scholarships available to help with those costs as well. This year we introduced some automatic scholarships. So students that are based in certain countries around the world can receive an automatic scholarship between £1,000 and £2,000, and that would just be featured in their offer of admission. We also have scholarships that students can apply for. So we have our Vice Chancellor's Scholarship, which offers a £3,000 tuition fee discount. And we have our Trailblazer Scholarship, which need an offer of admission first, and then they there's still plenty of time for September 2026. The closing dates for those scholarships are the end of May, so the 30th of May. We are just about to launch, so this is some exciting news, we're just about to launch some international sports scholarships. So hopefully within the next week or so, we're going to be launching on our website £4,000 international sport scholarships, and we'll send the details around as soon as we have the application form live. So athletes can apply for these scholarships again once they have an offer of admission. We would need them to submit video footage of them playing and a coach's reference as well. Our academies within the coaches will assess that. They'll set up a video call and have a chat with the applicants as well. But they can be considered for a £4,000 scholarship. And that's off each year of study as well. So really beneficial if they're an undergraduate student in particular. And finally, we do offer an early payment discount as well. So if students are able to pay their tuition fees in full before the 30th of June, they will receive a 5% discount on their tuition fee as well. So lots of opportunities to receive some small discounts on the tuition fee and hopefully help with those costs. We do also run a studentship programme, and this is for master's students that are interested in sports programmes. So this is an amazing opportunity for students to be able to earn while they learn. So they'll study a sports-focused master's degree, but at the same time, they'll be working in our sports academy. And there's a wide range of positions and programs. They might be working in a coaching position, or it could be related to like performance and analysis. There's a lot of different positions available. And in return for their work, they'll receive a tuition fee discount from their master's degree as well. So they can gain a master's degree, build up their resume and receive a tuition fee discount at the same time. All of the studentship opportunities are advertised on our website. They've still got about a month to apply. So the studentship positions, they close at the end of April. So that's a really great opportunity to build some practical work experience. And just to end with a bit of an announcement of another new scholarship that we are just introducing. We are going to be running a social media campaign asking students to prove that they are Hartpury material. And this is to compete for a £3,000 scholarship. So to enter, they just need to film a short. We're only asking for a 60 to 90-second video. And they'll be talking about the subject that they love. So it could be equine, it could be sport, it could be agriculture, it could be any one of our specialist areas, telling us how they are Hartpury material and what they want to focus their studies on once they're at Hartpury. We'll judge all of the applications received as a panel, and we'll be announcing the winners in probably early May. So that's an exciting social media campaign to look out for. So I'm going to end there. I'll just leave the slide up with the contact details. So please do take a screenshot, get in touch with us. We're going to have time for questions now, but if there's anything that you think of after the session, please do get in touch. We're always more than happy to help. I hope that gave you a little taster of life at Hartpury, but please do fire away with any questions that you have.
Cheers. Thank you, Lydia. That was amazing. Before we go into the questions, Charlotte, is there anything you want to add?
I think Lydia covered every mortal thing.
I thought so. I thought I'd pass the baton to you just in case.
No, that's fine. So what I've been keeping an eye on some of the Q&As that I've seen pinging up, and quite a few of those come under my remit. So you're going to hear some more from me in that bit. So I will leave it for the time being.
Okay, amazing. One, before we get into the Q&A, so just to open it up a bit, or let's say an icebreaker. Personally, Lydia and Charlotte, what's your favorite thing about Hartpury? One thing out of all, I know there's a lot, but one thing.
Probably the community. So I've worked at Hartpury for nearly 9 years now. Prior to that, I worked in independent education as well. So I've worked in the education sector for quite a long time. The one thing that I am really struck by is the community, not just international community, because obviously at Hartpury we're around 4,500, 5,000 students in total, and around 7% of that is international. So we have As Lydia said, we have a very close-knit community in terms of our international students. And having worked with them directly, I know most of my students by name, which is a nice experience for them, and it's a good experience for me as well. But the one thing I find is that everybody is welcoming. And I think the biggest thing that I always share with new international students coming in is you're never the newbie for long. So we have a lot of very specialized offerings in terms of orientation and our international society for getting students involved, helping to bring them out of their shell. And as Lydia's already said, enabling them to feel that they are part of sort of the Hartpury family. So yeah, that's where I'd go with that.
It's amazing to hear. Lydia, does she
I would,
take your one? Or
yeah, I would have said community as well, because that's what really struck me when I first started working at Hartpury. I just felt that's what was so unique. But I'll choose something different. I think the beauty of the campus. I'm working from home today, but this week when I've been on campus and just kind of walking to, you go and visit other people in different departments, and it's so beautiful, and it just makes you feel so calm. It's really lovely. I am an animal lover as well, so I do love to be surrounded by so many horses. We've got about 150 horses on campus, like the meerkats. Yeah, and it's just such an amazing environment.
great to
You
hear.
you
And
do
yeah,
find people at Hartpury come into two categories. You're either the meerkats or the prairie dogs.
oh
You
wow,
never
the
find anybody like,
rivalry.
oh, and they're right by one another in the walled garden as well, and it's sort of
Okay,
watching where people go to.
so it's like Gryffindor and Slytherin, I guess.
That's the one. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll tell you guys my favorite thing about Hartpury. It was the number of professional footballers that came through Hartpury. When I read the statistic of recent times, I think it's around 35 have gone on to then get professional contracts.
It's not just
And so
football
many
as
so
well.
many international athletes. Yeah,
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
not
when
just
we had
footballers, but yeah, international athletes and so
um
many.
yeah, so with the Rugby World Cup as well, both women's and men, it's really great to see such a large number of alumni across all of the represented teams. And obviously, when Lydia said about our sports academy that we have, our one sports academy building, there is a corridor, and it's dedicated to the people who have been through Hartpury, who
Yeah.
have gone on to professional sports, so into golf, into rowing, into rugby, into football, into F1 pursuits. So it's an amazing opportunity.
Do you have like a most famous person that's passed through the doors? Is there
Um,
someone that you always band out, a headline name?
Not really, because I mean, this
Uh,
last year we've actually had, obviously with the women's rugby, we've had three Hartpury alumni who have gone on to be mentioned in the King's honours
wow.
list. So we had OBEs and MBEs
Has
who,
that been the claim to fame over the past year, telling
that's
your
been,
friends?
yeah, we are very, very, very proud of our women's rugby.
Amazing. And one thing as well, I'm not sure if it was mentioned in the presentation, but also the ranking for sports science. So it's a very high ranking for sports science as well. Why would you say that is? Because I know in
That I think that's
2025 it was
the
ranked fourth in the UK for sports science with the Guardian rankings.
I think the Guardian ranking in particular, more than other ranking systems, it looks more at student satisfaction, and also like facilities, practical nature of the course. I think that's why we're particularly highly rated in the Guardian.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, it's a great pointer for agents to note down there, if you haven't already, about the sports science ranking. Because yeah, if you didn't know, then yeah, next time you have a student for sports science, Hartpury is one of the top options for you guys. So yeah, we've got a lot of questions, 25, which is amazing. So we'll go through these now. So we have a question that says, what are the best ways for agents to collaborate with Hartpury to drive applications and conversions?
So I think really the best way is to get a good understanding of what Hartpury has to offer. 'Cause as I say, we are not your average university, and we may not appeal to like your average business student, for example, that wants to study at a big university in a big city. So I think a lot of the starting point is understanding the Hartpury difference. So hopefully this session today will help with that.
Yeah.
And we do try to share as much content as possible so that you can get a feel for what life is like at Hartpury as well. We're always happy to help with any information. We like to listen as well. So if you have any feedback for us, like for example, or if you had a video, of a student from this country doing this, we think that would be really beneficial. Love to hear your feedback on things like that. So please do let us know if there's anything that you think would help us to promote Hartpury within your country. We're always open to suggestions in that. You can contact us. The team at In Uni are great, so always happy to field questions as well.
Yeah. So
Just to come on to the end of that,
go,
sorry,
Charlotte.
Steve, I didn't want to cut across you. Is one of the really important things, and Lydia's just touched on it, is Hartpury is a very unique and specific offering. So we're really fortunate working with In Uni in these markets that it's great to have students who are passionate about what we are offering. And it's really great to work with agents who have those students who are passionate. So it's not about shoehorning a student into something that they maybe aren't passionate about, but it's about nurturing that passion that they already have. So it's just finding the right student and the right fit.
Yeah, and just to add to that, so yeah, as was mentioned, so in uni we have a wide team that is here to support you guys. We have the marketing tools. We also have, as mentioned, the amazing scholarships as well. In terms of conversions, so there's so many different routes for funding for your students as well. But in terms of hands-on help, in terms of driving applications, we have the in-uni team. So you'll know your point of contact, and they're there to support you, whether it's office visits to speak with students and parents, or online sessions, with your offer holders. So yeah, feel free to reach out to the in-uni team directly to help with that. Next question. There was one regarding the career pathways. So what is the most common career pathway across Hartpury's key subject areas?
Oh, I wouldn't say there is one common career path, really. They go into a really wide variety of careers. There is actually a lot of information on the website. So every program that you click on, it has got fields that our graduates have gone on to work in. So when you look at each program, you can see a selection. But it's such a wide range. Equine is a very popular subject area with internationals. So I don't know if you were looking at the stats just based on popularity. The majority of our graduates may be working within the equine field, but it's such a wide variety of roles within that. For example, with our equine provisions, some of our programs are very scientific, so they might be working in research, more lab-based careers, and that goes all the way through to programs like equine business management. So they might be working in events management, marketing. It's such a wide range, or potentially because they've got so many business skills as well, not in the equine industry at all, but working in business somewhere else. So the degrees, even though they're specialists, they don't necessarily pigeonhole graduates to career within that field. But students are incredibly passionate about the subjects, and they do tend to know exactly what they want to study, exactly what they want to go on to do when they finish. So they do work hard to achieve that. But it's such a wide range, and even professional athletes, like we've already touched on as well.
Amazing. I mean, just to add to that, so obviously Hartpury provides like a very practical, hands-on learning approach. How do you think that kind of translates into, these amazing employability outcomes that you've covered? So when they
So
go into this diverse range of careers, why are they so successful?
yeah, because they've already been doing it, I guess, whilst they're studying. So they've been using the equipment that they'll go on to use in their career. Um, we'll introduce a little bit of theory at the beginning of a lesson, and introduce some concepts, but then it's let's go and run the experiments now and really understand that. Our farm students, they spend an enormous amount of time working on the farm. So they've not just been listening to the theory and memorizing it and writing it
Yeah.
down, they've been doing it. Um, and I've seen that, many years ago, I was working in employability and career service and helping graduates to get work. And it was always the graduates that have studied more practical courses, that have done work placements, done voluntary experience. They were always the most employable. It just shone through. They had it on their resume, but they were also just much more confident and had those interpersonal skills as well. So I'm a true believer in studying practical courses and getting as much work experience as possible as well, which we can help with. I think because we're specialists, we have an enormous amount of industry connections. Our academics do. We have our careers and employability centre that can help with that as well. So there's lots of opportunities to get that practical experience even outside of their course, and we would thoroughly encourage it.
Yeah.
I think if you touch on that,
Amazing.
the other point is obviously our lecturers and our coaches have that shared professional experience. Anyway, a lot of our coaches and lecturers do come from that professional background before moving into teaching. So a number of our lecturers are Hartpury alumni, who have then gone into practice or who have gone into the various sports fields, whether as a player or a coach, and then have returned to teaching to continue that journey. So there is a lot of sort of shared experience, shared professional experience prior to them coming into the teaching roles.
Amazing. And another interesting question we had was around studentships. It's quite a unique selling point for Hartpury. So how easy is it for a student to get a studentship? Like how many that apply actually get a studentship? Will it be quite easy for an international student, or are they very competitive? Is there any difference
It's
between a home and an international student applying?
it's
Can
very
agents use
competitive.
this as a I don't know, as a conversion or,
Yeah,
differentiation tool?
so it is a very competitive experience. Obviously, we have a number. These studentships are open to both home and international students, and are very highly sought after each year. As Lydia's already said, we only have a small number of those. So we are looking for the best fit for it. So yeah, great as a conversion tool, providing we have the right student to
Mm,
fit in. So there is an interview process that runs alongside that. We're looking for, as we've said, it's another area where we're looking for passion and experience and what that student can bring to that particular position. So yeah, we have had and we do have international students who are on studentships, because they are very definitely the right person for the role. But it's just one to be aware of. Yes, it is exceptionally competitive.
And in terms of the timeline of applying, so would students typically know before they begin, their studies, or is it in terms of,
Yeah, so
yeah,
a studentship is decided anytime we've sort of started the process for this coming September. So we started that back in February. And they will be awarding studentships right the way through until usually around mid-May. So there is still plenty of opportunity. So we have students who are very interested in doing the course, and then the studentship is a great additional opportunity alongside that. But they will know whether they've been successful in that studentship application before they have to commit to studying the program. Obviously, we are aware that for some people, price is a sensitive issue. So certainly they'd have the opportunity to look at the other scholarship opportunities that we have alongside the studentship, in case they weren't successful in that initial application.
perfect. And in terms of students applying for, a program like a specialist program like a Queen, do they need prior experience? Like what kind of experience would be expected? And is there experience, because everything's quite specialist, so would it be expected that students always have prior experience for all of the subject areas, or is there some that maybe need more than others?
Yeah, so almost all of our specialist programs. So obviously, if you're coming in to do an equine program, if you're taking an equitation module as part of that, you would be required to have a certain level of practical competence. So we have the practical competency assessment that runs alongside the British Horse Society. Stage 2 is sort of the base level. There are international equivalences to that, and there is a list of the practical competencies that are required for studying an equine program that has equitation or riding as part of that. It would be incredibly rare for someone to come into an equine degree who's never been on a horse in their life. Because again, we're looking for students who are passionate about that subject. And why would you want to do a program if you have no prior experience? It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit with the Hartpury mold, and it certainly doesn't help the student, because if they're not driven towards that particular industry, it's not the right fit for them. And that's the most important thing, is it's a right fit for the student. Similarly with the sport, obviously, we'll have a lot of students each year who will come in from different sporting backgrounds. So obviously our key sports, we've already mentioned, are football and rugby, rowing, golf, and equine. Those are sort of the main areas that we focus on. But then we also have an elite athlete program which focuses on the subjects that we maybe don't have. So we've had modern pentathlon students that have come through before. We've had hockey students that have come through before. We now have a hockey program. We've been looking at developing interest in cricket. Obviously, that's never been a focus for Hartpury before, purely because obviously cricket is classed as a summer game, and it would take place during the summer when we're not in session. But we're looking at the opportunity to be able to extend that. So it's having enough drive and enough experience to be able to want to push it forward. So we are always happy to look at elite athlete support alongside study in the right field. So yeah, certainly experience does form a big part of the drive and the passion for the subject that they're looking to study.
Amazing. We have so many questions, guys. Like we'd be here all day, unfortunately, if we were going to answer them. So what I'll say is there's one more question that I'd like to ask. There's a lot of questions about scholarships, accommodation, entry requirements, study gap. What we can do, guys, is we can send a follow-up email just maybe covering this in a bit more detail, because a lot of this information is on the Hartpury website, and we can send this over afterwards. But what would be great to get your insight on is part-time jobs. This is one of the key decision factors for international students. Obviously, they can work up to 20 hours per week with their student visa. So is there a lot of part-time jobs on campus in the local Gloucestershire area?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have opportunities. Obviously, Lydia's already said we have a beautiful relatively new catering facility called Gray's. Within that, we have a very small shop. There's a cafe in there. So there are catering opportunities in there that offer part-time work. We also have a student bar on campus, and they're always looking for staff there. Within the equine area, there are part-time opportunities and also event opportunities to work at various equine events there. Within the sports area too, there are part-time roles looking after reception and that kind of thing. There's also student ambassador opportunities, and our student ambassadors are fantastic students. We have a number of international student ambassadors, and I'm always delighted when they sign up for that. So they will work events both on campus and representing Hartpury further afield as well. So that could be at UCAS events, that could be at local events. So they attend the Three Counties show, which is nearby in Malvern, which is a very large agricultural show over a period of 3 days. They'll go to other outreach events and actually go into schools to go and show students who are coming of age what it's like to come to Hartpury. So those are paid opportunities where students can fit the hours around their working, their study time as well. And then obviously, as Lydia mentioned, we're only 15 minutes from the centre of Gloucester, so there are a number of opportunities within retail and hospitality based within Gloucester, and a number of employment agencies that will work with students when they want to be able to work ad hoc. So yeah, lots of opportunities.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, it's not just academic opportunities, and there's obviously the opportunities for some work experience as well. Okay. I really appreciate your time today. Both you, Charlotte and Lydia. It was really, really insightful. I'm sure the audience would agree. But yeah, that concludes our session for today. So I really appreciate everyone joining us today. Once again, thank you to our amazing panel, Charlotte and Lydia. If you guys have any further questions, feel free. I know that there's a lot in the Q&A box. We will send out a follow-up email with some answers to those. A lot of that information, as mentioned before, is on the Hartpury websites, the course pages and stuff like that. So feel free to check those out. But yeah, really appreciate everyone joining. Hope you learned a lot today, and you're really excited by the amazing opportunity that your students have to study at the Specialist University of the Year at Hartpury. So yeah, a recording of the session will be sent round, and yeah, hope you all have a great rest of your day.